Did you read in that Ozempic article, Life After Food, that 70% of Americans are overweight?
That doesn't surprise me. Yeah. I mean, what percentage is obese? Well, probably also like a ton. 30?
Yeah.
Like a ton of people are so fat.
Yeah.
And it's gross. And it's wrong.
Oh, you know what new word I learned in French?
Yeah.
Grossophobie.
What's that mean?
Fat phobia.
Oh, grossophobie.
Because you know how like gross means large?
Yeah.
Not disgusting.
I'm grossophobic.
But it's a perfect word because it's...
I'm scared of all you gross ass. Nasty phobic.
It's actually kind of crazy and disgusting that there's routinely fat and ugly people in fashion ads all the time now.
Mm-hmm. No, well, the thing about Ozempic, which I think is a perilous and mysterious drug that I would personally never take.
I was going to ask you, would you?
I don't have an appetite.
Well, yeah, that's the other
thing. I already
thing.
have a anhedonic relationship to food.
Yeah, when I was reading this article, I was like, God, all these people have problems with appetite control?
Yeah.
Can't you just control your appetite?
Just don't.
Just don't take that extra bite, dude.
And I don't know, what's nice about the Ozempic era is I think that it represents a kind of collective...
Transness.
What?
Ozempic.
Oh, because everyone wants to shoot themselves up with
drugs. With drugs.
Well,
and
that
also change reality instead of changing themselves.
I have a more optimistic read, which is that it represents a collective desire for acknowledgement that being thin is better.
Right.
It's like, duh.
After all is said and done, after the era of body positivity, we can finally come out with it.
Well,
it's very Girardian. Not in the mimesis sense, but in the sense of him saying, like, everyone wants to be thin, but only a small number of people have what it takes to take it to the extreme.
Yeah, one of the Ozempic users, many of whom were anons in the article, an actress who did not want to be named, said, you can eat 1.5 meals a day and then you're kind of hungry at night, but it's not terrible. You can drink some tea with magnesium and maybe take a Xanax and get to sleep. 1.5 meals? First of all, that's like Lenten fasting for Roman Catholics. You're literally supposed to eat 1.5 meals a day, basically. I can barely eat one meal a day.
Know.
What are you talking about?
I know, you really have to like choke it down.
Where do you get the time and the enthusiasm to eat multiple meals a day? Just eat dinner.
I know.
But I'm not healthy, you guys. Did you hear I was anemic, Anna?
I mean, we're all anemic.
I went to the doctor. Well, first of all, he told me I took my clothes off for a male doctor, which I was kind of like, okay. And then he said I had a heart murmur, and
he was like, "Are you the TikTok influencer and Roman towel boy Gio Scotti?"
She's probably not anemic. She looks healthy, but
she's stunning. And does not look like a boy.
Gorgeous. She overdoes it, I think, a little with the highlighter.
Yeah.
She does look a little like a boy, but I don't think that's a bad thing.
No.
One time someone on Reddit said I had the ass of a little boy, and someone said, yeah, maybe in ancient Greece. I said, hey, thank you.
An overlooked part of neoteny is androgyny, because you start life off kind of gender neutral and non-binary, and you end life kind of gender neutral, non-binary.
So true. Yeah.
We don't have to force the labels.
Yeah, she looks youthful, thus she looks...
We don't have to overstate our case.
Oh, and then anyway, then the doctor was like, have you been told you're anemic? And I said, sir. Please be gentle with me, doctor. I bruise easy, okay?
Is that true?
What?
Do you bruise easily?
Yeah, but not like insanely.
Not like alarmingly. Yeah. Not like medically.
Not like a hemophiliac or whatever they're called. Iron deficient. Nothing I can do about it. So I'm tired, folks.
You can take an iron supplement, but Land Shark strongly discourages it. So I'm going to take the word of this weird, random, faceless, anonymous.
But I stopped taking supplements altogether.
Yeah. Because you're no worse off for it.
Because my T levels were off the charts because I was taking all this right-wing health advice. And now I'm back in still a pretty high but normal-ish range of female testosterone levels. And I feel
what's wrong with us?
Hey, what's going on?
No, I'm just saying, what the fuck is wrong with us?
What?
That like we're anemic and have thyroid problems and our T levels are off the charts.
We aren't healthy. We drink a ton of alcohol. I found out I was genetically predisposed to being high T, as well as in the 100th percentile for insomnia. And in the 97th,
you know what they say about
addiction.
high T women?
What?
They're highly intelligent. Male-brained, you might even say, just kidding, they're hairy. Prone to gaining weight in the midsection.
I also possibly have hyperthyroidism, which doesn't seem that bad.
It's supposed to make you horny.
It makes you anxious, which is a kind of horniness.
And
makes you agitated, highly agitated, and with poor impulse control. Yeah, but that's the gambling.
I'm like blasting cigs, being like, "Why do I have high T?" Like growing a mustache as we speak.
I've been taking tons of weird supplements that people in the manosphere recommend.
But this is one of those things that's like stated versus revealed preferences, right? The Ozempic thing, like it proves that people's actual preference is to be thin.
Yes. And that body positivity
and their stated preference is that all shapes and sizes are beautiful. Ozempic to me is like an all-American fairy tale because it represents the two things Americans love most, which is seeking instant gratification through pharmaceuticals.
Yes.
And
so true.
And using pharmaceuticals as a status symbol.
Yeah.
And also laundering their extreme shame and guilt through various progressive campaigns and initiatives.
It seems fucked up. It seems...
Ozempic?
Yeah.
Well, I was going to get on my moral high horse and be like, do you even know what you're doing? You're injecting yourself with a weird mystery drug whose long-term consequences are totally unknown. It's being used off-label. This is an egregious violation.
Yeah.
I do think that it will unleash a torrent of various liver and bone cancers in 10
thyroid
to
cancer?
20 years.
It seems they speculate about thyroid cancer, which sounds that it would work on like the endocrine system that deals with appetite and stuff.
Well, and the other thing that the author points out,
I don't need that,
is
need
that
noise.
It's, you know, it's a little vain and silly to inject yourself with a drug to shed the pounds when you can just do it the hard way through diet and exercise. It's one of those things that's easier said than done because it's very simple, but not easy to lose weight. But he says like, oh, well, this drug has been a miracle and a godsend for people who have to manage their type 2 diabetes.
Medicine originally.
But then rhetorical question, why do so many people have diabetes and why do we have to manage diabetes, a totally avoidable, preventable, and reversible syndrome through drugs? That's also, diabetes is also like a lifestyle choice.
Some people have
type 1. This is used to treat type 2.
I don't know the difference.
Type 1 is like the genetic one that you have from birth or early childhood. Type 2 is the one that's like comorbid with obesity.
Because I've known people who are like young and then that have to do the
of course,
insulin shots and stuff. Oh, so I have an Ozempic hypothetical for you since we don't struggle with thinness. Would you, if there was a shot that just made you like, would you take a shot to rid yourself of nasolabial folds? Now you're thinking about it.
I plan on getting a facelift.
Yeah, that's going to be sick.
I'm going to do it.
When? Later.
I don't know, in like 10 years.
Yeah.
Like Emily and Leia and I have hatched a plan to get facelifts together and go to one of those retreats or resorts where you can like recover outside of the prying eyes of people who know you.
Yeah.
Because you're going to be sitting there like sipping lobster bisque through a straw with like a mummy bandage on your head for 2 weeks or whatever.
Okay, but say what I'm asking is that there was a shot
I
that
get
just
it. I get
made
it.
you whatever hotter in some like
I would take a shot that made me
way.
dumber.
Well, the COVID-19.
Would you?
Could I recommend the COVID-19 vaccine to you, Anna?
It's called pregnancy. Would I do it? No. I know that sounds crazy and fake.
I wouldn't.
But
I don't care that much.
My problem is like Mishling in a Leo Virgo cusp is that I always have to take the hard way out. I always have to make life more difficult
and you're
for myself.
Tormented about your vanity.
Yeah, but I would never cut corners. I mean, I do cut corners all the time because I go to the dermatologist and get my little laser treatments.
But that's not cutting corners. There's no alternative. There's no alternative.
And that's called being a rich bitch. No, but I would never want something that was like instant gratification. That just freaks me out. It makes me feel anxious and agitated and out of control.
I have a gambling addiction, latent.
Well, also the fact that people are willing to set aside their inherent squeamishness at shooting themselves up is really scary.
I'm not phobic of needles, really.
The question is, would you inject yourself
with
some drug that made you like hotter, smarter, richer, whatever you wanted to be?
Would I inject myself? Yeah.
Versus being injected.
I'd prefer, I guess, to be injected, but I could handle it.
Yeah, but it
with heroin,
it wouldn't make you feel good.
What if there was a drug that made you feel really good called heroin?
Well, I had this
and you
conversation.
could shoot it into your veins and feel extreme contentment,
low self-esteem,
and bliss.
Well, think about what heroin is, right? It's a drug that you inject yourself with for a temporary high and escape that makes you feel like the biggest low self-esteem loser in the long run. You've met junkies. I meet them every day. In fact, some of them are my friends.
If you're into Ozempic, try heroin because you're not even going to care about how you look or how your life's deteriorating around you or any future health problems you might have.
You'll be thin.
You will be thin.
You literally will not have any money to eat.
You actually will get constipated and bloated
from heroin. Yeah, they have that distended abdomen.
Don't do heroin. That's nasty.
It's poor low status behavior. Well, I used to labor under the naive delusion that like people in America especially were very good at like borrowing against their future.
Mm-hmm.
I.e. like by injecting themselves with mystery drugs that have unknown consequences because they wanted to be like hot and thin now. But then I realized that they just feel like they have no future. Everyone is spiritually trans.
They want the shot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm vaccinated. I got the shot.
Do you feel any regret or remorse? I mean, nothing really happened.
No, I don't really care.
Yeah. Who cares?
Who cares? I don't care. Do you? Who cares? I'm glad COVI's over.
Yeah.
We're on to a new thing.
Ozempic. The new pandemic.
The new Ozempic.
How much does this thing cost?
A ton. I think it said in the piece that most people who stop taking it regain their lost weight.
Yeah,
because they aren't actually rectifying the
spiritual malady. Yeah. Yeah, there is no chemical solution for a spiritual problem.
Simply no.
As Michael Imperioli, who will come to the opening of an envelope, famously said in The Sopranos. I'm trying to get that guy in the pod.